The new Cell Max raid has come to an end on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which means the most awaited Super Soul in this free update is finally here for us that actually did the Cell Max raid on this game. And sadly, your boy did not. But we still have access to this Super Soul, and I'm going to be able to showcase it for you guys due to the homie Eclipse Euclid. Huge shout out to the homie for letting me use and borrow his account for this video right here. His YouTube will be linked down below in the description. Be sure, guys, to go show him some love without a doubt, because without him, this video right here, again, would not be possible because your boy was dumb as hell and completely forgot to do the Cell Max raid. Now, the purpose of this video, though, is to showcase the brand new Super Soul that a lot of people have been waiting for since we saw the description, and that is the Gotenks Super Soul. Damn, gonna have to go all out. Now, what's so special about this Super Soul? Well, as you see, it says, a bit of time after the battle starts, boost all attacks by an XXL amount. That is a 30% increase to all attack categories a bit of time after the battle starts, and then it also boosts your movement speed by an XXL amount. I don't ever think there's been a Super Soul in this game that has done that in particularly to a character. An XXL boost to your movement speed, that's a 30% increase to how fast you're moving with your character, which is a major factor in a game like Xenoverse 2. So you can tell why this Super Soul, without a doubt, already based off those two descriptions, is absolutely insane. Now, you also have an increased damage taken from all attacks by a medium amount at all points, no matter, I wonder if that's always or a bit of time after, like once the Super Soul activates. That we'll have to see when we go in training mode. If the Super Soul is activated immediately when we go into training mode and we're not getting that boost to damage, well then that means that we will basically not be taking that increase to damage until the Super Soul activates as well. So that is something that is there. That's just a 10% increase to the damage that you take. Really not that bad at all, considering the buffs that you do get from this Super Soul at the same time, with that 30% increase to all attack categories and then a 30% increase to your movement speed. I mean, think about it. People are talking about how crazy damaging Beast as an awoken skill is, right? Well, Beast gives you a 30% increase to all attack categories. This Super Soul does the exact same thing without actually transforming. So what we're going to be doing is going into the training mode really quick just to see how some of the damage is looking with this Super Soul. Also see how long it actually takes to activate at the same time, because that is something that is important. We don't know whether it takes 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Obviously, the shorter amount of time that it takes to activate, the better overall for this Super Soul right here. So let's jump into training mode and see what this soul is about. Alright, y'all, here we are in training mode, and the first thing that I noticed is that the Super Soul is not active at this moment in time, so I'm assuming that defense debuff only activates when the Super Soul is actually active, because again, if anything from the Super Soul is working, usually the Super Soul is active as well. So again, I'm assuming that debuff actually only comes when this Super Soul does activate. So what I'm going to do now actually is hit the restart button and have a stopwatch going at the same time so we can see exactly how long this Super Soul exactly takes to activate. So we're going to hit restart and stopwatch activates at the same time, and let's see how long again this takes overall for this Super Soul to activate, because it's a major factor in whether or not this Super Soul is going to be OP, gonna be good, gonna be or just really not that usable in a PvP format.
A few moments later.
Okay, it has finally activated, and we are literally looking at a minute in terms of activation time for this Super Soul right here, which I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty big downfall, but at the same time, I can already notice how much faster my CAC is moving. Like, look how fast he's running in comparison to normal. You usually do not run this fast at all. Oh, the movement speed is actually very nice, though. I will say that without even testing the damage, just the movement speed alone, that 30% increase is definitely noticeable and definitely very nice at the same time. I mean, imagine this on a short character or like a short Frieza character or something like that. They're going to be moving insanely fast with this Super Soul right here. Now, with that being said, next up we want to test the damage. So what I'm going to do actually really quick, actually there's no point of restarting. We know it's a 30% increase to the overall damage, right? So let's just test out a basic combo real quick while we're in our base form. So this basic combo right here with the Super Soul active is giving me 14,468 damage. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, at the same time, this build right here that my homie Eclipse has is not, or Eclipse has, is not fully maxed out in its basic or in its Ki Blast Supers. Its basic, I believe, is only at 26, and the Ki Blast Supers at 72. Imagine if both of those categories were at 125, the type of damage we'd be getting right now. We'd probably be close to somewhere around 18-ish K damage, I would want to say, overall, which is absolutely insane. And then you take into account transformations like the Beast Awoken skill, like a Super Saiyan Blue, because now Super Saiyan Blue doesn't necessarily need a Super Soul to manage its ki, just due to the simple fact that its ki drain is not that bad at all after the newest update. So using it with Awokens like that, you're just going to be getting insane damage from this Super Soul and combos. Like, look at this right here, guys. The same exact combo now is doing 17,793 damage. Now imagine if I was to actually do the Beast combo. Let's see how much this gives us overall in total. This combo is giving us a total of 19,798 damage. And again, the build is not necessarily one that is meant to be a high damage build based off the basic only being 26 and the Ki Blast Supers being 72. Like I said, if you max those out, you are literally looking at somewhere between, like, I would say 23 to 25k total damage overall with that combo right there. And again, you're also getting a 30% increase to your movement speed at the same time, which is very, very good in a game like Xenoverse 2. So this Super Soul, without a doubt, is absolutely insane when it actually does activate. The only issue that I really find with it is how long it takes to activate, because that whole minute that you have going by can honestly be a big difference in a match. Like, having no Super Soul for a whole minute can make a difference in a match, without a doubt. So there is that major, I think that's more of by far a major downfall to this Super Soul than the damage debuff that you get with taking 10% more damage overall while having this active, because that 10% overall really isn't that big of a deal, to be honest with you guys. I mean, when you do stack it with Beast, it becomes a 30% damage debuff, which at that point in time, yeah, you're probably, you know, you're going to be taking a good amount of damage without a doubt. But again, I feel the major downfall for this Super Soul is the minute that it takes actually to activate. So what we're going to do is actually go online and see how viable this Super Soul is in an online setting or not, because again, there is that minute frame or that minute time span between when the match starts until this Super Soul activates, where you're going to have no Super Soul at all. So let's see how good or okay this Super Soul is in an online setting. Alright, y'all, here we go with the online match. Now again, the only thing that really helps this Super Soul obviously is the simple fact that, well, you're going to be playing without limitations, and without limitations matches usually take longer than with limitations, just due to the simple fact that, well, you do have limit bursting. Like, limit bursting is a thing, but you will have matches like this. Bro, I hate Xbox. I literally cannot stamina break on Xbox for my life. But you will have matches like this where they seem to be going by fairly quick. Like, I may literally end this match with this man Cartoon. I didn't get off in time. But I may end this match with this man in like less than a minute. Really? There goes my stamina break. Alright, he did limit burst, so again, that is something that you deal with. Oh, good counter. I don't even know why I just went into that like a dummy. Stupid. Like I'd fall for it twice. Alright, so my Super Soul is finally getting to the point where it's actually going to activate soon. And now we finally have it activated. Again, it literally takes a whole minute for this Super Soul to activate. So again, in a with limitation or without limitation setting online, of course that's not the worst thing in the world, because the matches do take a bit longer. But still, I really only had this Super Soul active. If he didn't vanish right here, so that's his ass and he's dead. Okay, he used his evasive, but only had the Super Soul active for what? 20 seconds right there. So that right there is a perfect example of the potential downfall of this Super Soul, which is that you may have matches where you either don't use it at all, or barely use it. But then you will have some sweaty matches where this Super Soul can really come into great effect and help you out a great deal at the same time. So it just really depends on the match that you are going to have. I guess you could say it is a good Super Soul overall at the very least for PvP, because if you're not going to have a sweaty match anyway, you're really most likely not going to need the use of that Super Soul at the same time. Like if your match is not going to be a minute 30, minute 45 plus, most likely you're going up against somebody who is not that good, and you're going to be able to beat them with or without that Super Soul. So this Super Soul still has a great use in online. I just think if it were to activate a little bit faster, it would be a lot better. But without a doubt, it is a great Super Soul for PvE and a great Super Soul for raids at the same time. Like without a doubt, it is great to use this Super Soul in those two forms. It's just when it comes to PvP, it does take a little bit of a while to activate. So like I said, in those matches where you're going to be ending the matches similar to that one right there where I ended it in a minute and 20 seconds, it's not going to be the most useful in the world. But when you get into those sweatier matches where they're going down to the final 30 seconds, final even minute of the match, that's when this Super Soul actually has a great effect and great usage for you at that point in time, because it's been active for at least a minute plus of you getting a 30% boost to all damage categories and a 30% boost to your movement speed at the same time. So again, it really just depends on the match when it comes to this Super Soul right here. Now, I wouldn't say that it is the best in the game or anything like that. A lot of people were thinking that it might be the best in the game. Honestly, when I first saw it, I was thinking, damn, this Super Soul may very well be the best Super Soul in Xenoverse 2. It just depends on how long it takes to activate. I was thinking it was probably going to take about 30 seconds at max to activate this Super Soul, but again, that is not the case. It does take a full-on minute for this Super Soul to activate, which in my opinion is the real only true downfall and negative side to this Super Soul, because again, that damage debuff only taking 10% more damage really isn't that big of a deal when you think about the simple fact that you're gaining 30% damage to all categories and gaining a 30% increase to your movement speed at the same time. So let me know your thoughts on the Super Soul down below in the comments, guys. And again, huge shout out to the homie Eclipse for letting me use his account for this video right here. I want to just give him a special shout out without a doubt, man, because without him, this video would not have been possible, because again, your boy was just stupid and completely forgot to do the Cell Max raid. So again, shout out to the homie Eclipse. His YouTube will be linked down below in the description. But till next time, man, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, hope you guys have a good one. Peace, y'all.